Hi, this is TV Oromiyaa. My name is Roberta and here are the headline news. Disappearance of Oromo University students in the summer break. Human rights and the war on terror in Ethiopia. Revolt against subjugation has continued, and Ethiopia using aid as weapon of oppression. Disappearance of Oromo University students in the summer break. The whereabouts of many Oromo students from the different universities who have joined their families in the summer break are unknown. The intensified pro-democracy Cairo National Youth Movement for Freedom and Democracy has caused massive frustration in the TPLF government. Since April 15, 2011, the TPLF government security has imprisoned, tortured, poisoned, and gunned many Oromo University students. Others have fled from their homeland because of the preserved interrogation and torment. The TPLF government has invested huge resources to enhance the interrogation technique or set of alternatives to bring down the activism of pro-democracy Cairo University students. Here are some of the reported list of Oromo University students whose whereabouts are unknown. Gemechis Yosef, Abdisa Mashasha, Opse Bakele, and Solomon Ndalu are from Adama University. Kumsa and Moi Oljara are from Ambo University. Tariko Murmur, Kumsa, and Ibsa Gemechu are from Oromiyaa University. Getu Rabira and Lalisa Droba are from Hawassa University. Lemmi Tasisa are from Tepi University. Ahmed Mohammed, Anwar Jandi, Lemmi, Garoma, and Akalu Kabede are from Jimma University. Damara Kajale and Shitaye are from Walaga University. And Melka is from Arba Mint University. The families of these students are appealing to the government to release the students from where they are trapped in. In many parts of Oromiyaa, pro-democracy Cairo National Youth Movement for Democracy and Freedom is also urging the government to release the students. Human rights and the war on terror in Ethiopia. It is not entirely out of the ordinary to hear of the arrest of political dissidents in Ethiopia, but a recent cluster of arrests has drawn attention from the international human rights community. Over the last few weeks, a group of at least 9 journalists, Ethiopian National Democratic Party members, and others have been arrested and detained under Ethiopia's anti-terrorism proclamation number 652. This added to some 24 other individuals said to have been charged under the same law over the last couple of months. This 2009 law uses the buzzword terrorism to encourage the West to continue to see Ethiopia as a vital partner in the war on terror, drawing attention away from the law's true purpose, suppressing any opposition to the regime of Prime Minister Meles Zenawi. Given the recent unrest in several other African countries, the uptick in arrests under the law is worrying and tends to validate earlier concerns over its potential for facilitating human rights violations. Revolt against subjugation has continued. Cairo Pro-Democracy Movement for Freedom has spread out in Oromiyaa. The Oromo youth in Nejo Walaga province stepped up the movement for freedom and democracy. On August 3, 2011, leaflets and other written documents with a side note recognizing the life of Oromo, which is deprived or swindled by the TPLF government, become distributed and widespread in the city and rural areas of Nejo. The document also makes reference about the escalated movement of Cairo National Youth Movement for Freedom and Democracy. The youth has organized themselves in groups and distributed the documents in all key areas, including hotels and government offices in the district. The distributed documents have cited 3 main issues regarding the contemporary life tendencies in Oromiyaa. These are 1. Taxation burden and the largest galloping inflation, which is putting pressures on Oromo people, coercion pressure on poor Oromo farmers through unfair land use policy, the looting strategy of TPLF regime in Oromiyaa, etc. 2 issues about Oromo Liberation Front, and 3 issues about the objectives and strategies of Cairo National Youth Movement for Freedom and Democracy. Ethiopia using aid as weapon of oppression. A joint undercover investigation by BBC Newsnight and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism has uncovered evidence that the Ethiopian government is using billions of dollars of development aid as a tool for political oppression. Posing as tourists, the team of journalists traveled to the southern region of Ethiopia. There they found villages where whole communities are starving, having allegedly been denied basic food, seed and fertilizer for failing to support Prime Minister Meles Zenawi. The investigation has also gathered evidence of mass detentions the widespread use of torture and extrajudicial killings by Ethiopia government forces. Yet Western donors, including Britain, which is the third largest donor to Ethiopia, stand accused of turning a blind eye by continuing to provide aid money despite being warned about the abuses. The aid in question is the long-term development aid, not the emergency aid provided in response to current drought in Ethiopia and its neighbor in the Horn of Africa. Thank you for watching.
Based on the Oromiyaa land grab, buying a parcel of land with your soul. The California-based think tank, the Oakland Institute, published its latest report on Ethiopia finds, amongst others, that 36% of the land so far given away by Meles Zenawi regime is in fact in Oromiyaa. On the other hand, 42% and 27% of the land in Gambela and Benishangul Gumush, respectively, has already been grabbed or is up for grabs. The land, for grab, is not just up for grabs by the Saudis, the Indians, and other foreigners that are engaged in the land grab in Oromiyaa are also participating as well. Some in the Oromo diaspora are also participating in displacing the Oromo poor from their land and sharing the benefit of the TPLF regime of Ethiopia. The list among is long, but it includes Oromo religious elders and Oromo community leaders. What is a parcel of land worth for these people? Their soul. As for the young generation, we need to be informed about Meles regime's grand plan against Oromiyaa and the talk of our fathers, mothers, sisters, and brothers to stop participating in impoverishing Oromo farmers. Hi. The challenges that Oromo people face. The challenges that Oromo people are facing in achieving their goal, freedom, is complex. We can divide these challenges into internal and external challenges. The most deliberate is the creation of OPDO by Zenawi in early 1990. The presence of OPDO with the ruling party helped Zenawi to counter Oromo Liberation Forces via Oromo Democracy Group, which has effectively reduced Oromo's quest for freedom to a mere fake democracy that Meles is playing. Now, there are more than 3,500,000 trained Oromians who work for TPLF towards, quote-unquote, democratizing Ethiopia. The great majority of ill-recruited and ill-trained, like the animals you mentioned, and many of these people are trained to serve their master, Meles. Early 1990s, which we like to call the survival stage, a group of war prisoners were brainwashed and mobilized into PDO's human machineries in what we call TPLF's Grand Deception Project. These were men and women of low self-esteem, whose next immediate option at the time was death in the hand of their handlers. These prisoners were desperate and hopeless. That TPLF instilled fear and inculcated the psychology of absolute loyalty to their master in them. Late 90s and 2000, which was the security needs to security stage, many of the OLF members were killed. Others were incarcerated. Several OPDs have made to high government positions, and they were in control of the lives of many Oromos. Looting in the name of investment was widespread. Their master, Zenawi, made sure that OPDs can steal from them public money, sell land, and save money in foreign land, provided so that they don't poke their nose into government affairs that are loyal to TPLF policies. The once prisoners of war were wielding tremendous power. In the late 2000s, which consisted of love and belongingness, humans felt the need of a sense of belonging and acceptance. Acceptance rate of OPDO among Oromo people is still very low. Not much has changed, though OPDO tried to buy acceptance by fertilizing and distributing aid food and microfinance to people of selected in their members. The great majority of Oromo people is still dissatisfied by the OPDOs. OPDO is still perceived as servant of both enemy both at home and abroad. Self-esteem, which is a new emerging trend, it is natural. Once one goes beyond basic psychological and security needs, the next human stage of desire is self-esteem. There are several clues that OPDO are approaching this level of development. Nothing explains the defection of several governments and many Ethiopian army members to Asmara than this. Many high-ranking OPDO officials who defected at various times have passed through this stage. In conclusion, OPDOs are now approaching the 4th level in Maslow's need hierarchy. All they need is activation and energy to accelerate the process and turn them into fatal enemy of their handlers. Therefore, it is up to Oromo nationals to help OPDOs move from their current hostage status to free beings who can take side with their freedom fighters to accelerate our march to statehood. It is only then that we can talk about protecting our borders. Sources are from ayantu.com. Thank you for watching, and my name is Agartushan Kife.
Amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate akkam illikoo gubate garaan koos na lalate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate sabni koos na hubate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate lammiin koos na hubate. Kani guyande ma jirungo hirarama irudara kana aljerena matima takarge nagenye akasi kumbasama ibama midama wajirenya miti ararafama ibama midama wajirenya miti ararafama amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate. Amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate akkam illikoo gubate garaan koos na lalate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate sabni koos na hubate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate lammiin koos na hubate. Nafsi bari'uuf jedhe hawwi koo galmaan ga'u addaaf seentiniin nadhe baay'een jooree jaawarree wareegaaf lubbuu qoode galee hubadhe gamtokkeen turiin boostuu sinii yaadde galee hubadhe gamtokkeen turiin boostuu sinii yaadde. Amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate akkam illikoo gubate qaamni koos na lalate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate sabni koos na hubate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate lammiin koos na hubate. Bu'aa bayi alli yeroo namude gadda galfadhee dhoksa darba waan rabbi fide gufuna ta'us dibaan galaanni darbee fide baroode maraddu rakkinaan jilbeenfadhu abdii kute baroode maraddu rakkinaan jilbeenfadhu abdii kute amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate. Amma baay'ee dheertuun deeme illikoo na gubate akkam illikoo gubate qaamni koos na lalate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate sabni koos na hubate dubbatu maleessa mutofaan baasee dubbate lammiin koos na hubate.